Welcome to Hays Post News. I'm Becky Kaiser. A group of Kansas Republican candidates and their surrogates are traveling the state this week as part of the Kansas Republican Party's Clean Sweep bus tour. The group stopped in Hays Thursday at mid-morning. They were at Thirsty's restaurant on Vine Street.
I'm a Reagan conservative. We've been pushing the policies forward that he believes in. It's really getting the government smaller, getting your taxes down, doing your core functions better. That's why we've invested so much in education, record spendings in education and highways, core functions. But we're down 3,000 employees at the state of Kansas because we've been able to be things more efficient. You're going to hear a little bit more about that. I'm on the other side on the social issues. Paul Davis voted to support partial birth abortions continuing in the state of Kansas. As unbelievable as that is, as unconscionable as that is, and gender selection abortion. I think he was one of 10 people in the legislature that voted to support that. I'm pro-life. I've signed 10 pro-life bills since I've been governor, and I'm delighted I've been able to do that and to sign those bills.
4 years ago, 5 of the 6 statewide were Democrats. And today, all 6 are Republican. We need your help on the clean sweep. Get out there. We need your help with Sue, with Sam, with Pat, with the whole team, because we're going to win this election.
If you read about in the papers, they don't mention that Paul Davis was an Obama delegate. They don't mention that my opponent wrote an essay honoring the president for his inaugural address. Don't forget, the president and I do agree on this one issue. His policies are on the ballot. If you want to grow our economy, you've got to re-elect Bab Roberts. If you want to push back on an agenda that's shutting down industries in western Kansas, that will not allow our Holcomb power plant to move forward, that is stopping our oil and gas industry, you have to elect, put me back in the House.
The GOP bus tour continued on to Russell for lunch after starting the day in Dodge City. The Republicans were greeted by a large crowd of supporters in Hays. Standing outside were about 50 of Governor Brownback's detractors, local members of the Kansas NEA clad in their signature red T-shirts and holding protest signs. The group represents many Kansas educators who adamantly oppose changes the legislature made in April's school funding compromise.
We know that we've had, since 2008, $536 cut from our per student cut from our budgets. It's time to stand up. It's time to raise our hands for public education. Are you ready to raise your hand? It makes a difference. Everywhere we've been, it makes a difference.
We're all here to show support for our public schools. Our children can't vote, but we can vote for them. And we need to show that people in Hays care about our public schools. The governor keeps saying he's added money to public schools, but here we have seen much higher class sizes. We've seen programs cut, we've lost teachers, and so we're not seeing it.
Democratic gubernatorial candidate Paul Davis is scheduled to make one more stop in Hays prior to Tuesday's general election. Davis has planned a Saturday evening rally, 6 p.m. at the Hays VFW. The election is Tuesday, November 4th. Advance voting is open in Ellis County Friday and Monday until noon. Superintendent Dean Catt hopes a recently formed calendar committee will help Hays USD 489 go beyond the bare minimum when it comes to teacher-student contact time and teacher contract hours. At Monday's school board meeting, Catt presented graphs comparing USD 489 student contact time and teacher contract hours with 32 other schools in Kansas. Catt says the data suggests USD 489 is aiming for the bare minimum, something he would like to see changed.
And when we do the calendar, this is in the agreement, we shoot for the very minimum. We shoot for 1,116 and that's it. And again, I'm not going to tell you anything different. I still can't understand the negotiated agreement, how we get somewhere listed that we have 165 student days. But when you count them, it's actually the 170. But it just, to me, it doesn't make sense that we shoot for the bare minimum contact time. I've never been in a district that's done that, but that's the way the agreement is, and that's what we've done. I think we need to look at that. Those things.
Yeah, and I don't want to just focus on the numbers. I think we need to understand, what's the goal. We need more collective collaboration time.
Exactly.
To talk about technology or to talk about, whatever the issue is. And to do that, we need to be negotiating this piece of it, and here's where we compare to other districts. So you can see we're not completely out of line in asking for this. But people need to understand why it's important, why we need that change. It's not just numbers to change numbers.
Kat says contact time will help prepare teachers for technology updates and the new educational guidelines set to begin next year due to the state's No Child Left Behind waiver. You can see the comparison data presented by Superintendent Kat on her website, HaysPost.com. The Vice President of Student Affairs at Fort Hays State University has been hired to head a North Dakota university. Dr. Tisa Mason was named the new president at Valley City State University by the North Dakota Board of Higher Education Thursday. Mason has served the past 6 years at Fort Hays State. Valley City State officials say Mason's contract will begin at that university no later than December 31st.
Need to get your home in shape for the holidays? Miller's of Claflin isn't just the best selection in furniture, but also has the best selection in flooring. Come in and explore your options. Hardwood, laminate, luxury tile, ceramic, carpet, countertops, and much more. Let our design team assist you in coordinating and fulfilling your vision. We also have our own professional installers of over 75 years combined experience. Get your home ready for the holidays with Miller's of Claflin's triple guarantee. Competitive pricing, professional installation, and service after the sale.
It starts your morning with the forecast, then watches your energy use all day. It can change your temperature from anywhere in the world, prevent you from heating and cooling an empty house, and still give you a comfortable welcome home. The iComfort Wi-Fi from Lennox.
Let Steeder Contractors install the most advanced comfort control system available with your new furnace and air conditioner. Call Steeders and make your home a smart home today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Youthful body, tight tummy, smooth facial lines. Greystone Cosmetic and Reconstructive Surgery is here to help you achieve your goals and give yourself the new look you've always wanted. Greystone offers sophisticated surgical and non-surgical cosmetic procedures. With services now available locally, there's no need to wait any longer. Contact Greystone Cosmetic and Reconstructive Surgery at Hays Medical Center today or online at greystonecosmetic.haysmed.com.
This is a news update from the Salina Post. The Kansas Corporation Commission reminds Kansans that the cold weather rule takes effect November 1st and remains in effect through March 31st. The cold weather rule in most cases prevents or limits utility companies from disconnecting a customer's natural gas or electric service during periods of extreme cold. The rule requires utility companies to offer a 12-month payment plan to allow customers to maintain or reestablish utility service. Utility companies may not initiate disconnection until the temperatures are forecast to be above 35 degrees for the next 48 hours. Utility companies must attempt to contact the customer by phone or in person 24 hours before disconnecting service. Utility companies are prohibited from disconnecting a customer's service when the temperatures are forecast to be below 35 degrees over the next 24 hours. If you need more information, contact your utility company or the Kansas Corporation Commission. A proposed constitutional amendment on next week's Kansas ballot would allow nonprofit, religious, veterans, and other organizations to hold raffles as fundraisers. Organizations conducting raffles would not be allowed to sell tickets through electronic gaming or vending machines under the proposed amendment. They also wouldn't be allowed to contract with professional lottery or raffle companies to operate the raffles. The legislature passed a bill in 2013 that would allow charitable groups to offer raffles, but Governor Brownback vetoed the measure, saying it would violate the Kansas Constitution. Brownback said in his veto message he would support allowing limited types of charitable raffles and encouraged the legislature to consider a constitutional amendment. The Kansas State Board of Education has identified 4 candidates for State Education Commissioner. The Kansas State Department of Education announced Wednesday the candidates include Georgia Schools Superintendent John Barge, Associate Shawnee Mission School Superintendent Jillian Chapman, Interim Kansas Education Commissioner Brad Neuenswander, and McPherson School District Superintendent Randall Watson. The Candidates will be interviewed November 5th and 6th. The Education Department says the board expects to make an announcement at its board meeting the following week. The state is seeking a replacement for Diane DeBacker, who left her position in May to become an advisor to the director of the Abu Dhabi Education Council in the United Arab Emirates. A report released this week by the American Legislative Exchange Council, also known as ALEC, gives Kansas near failing grades when it comes to education policy. The highest grades Kansas received in the report were a B for homeschool regulations burdens and B- for digital learning. The state received a D for academic standards and teacher quality and policies. The report gave Kansas a failing grade of F for private school choice programs and charter schools. The report ranked Kansas sixth from the bottom nationally for education policy. U.S. Attorney Barry Grissom says a federal prosecutor will be on duty Election Day to respond promptly to complaints of possible election fraud and voting rights violations in Kansas. Grissom says in a news release that anyone who has evidence of possible electoral corruption or voting rights abuses Tuesday should call his office. Prosecutors across the nation monitor elections as part of the U.S. Justice Department's Election Day program. Assistant U.S. Attorney Leon Patton will be available to the public at 913-551-6730. The FBI's Kansas City field office will also receive allegations of election fraud, intimidation, and suppression. A majority of the 22,394 voters who will be unable to cast a legal ballot this election in Kansas because of the state's proof of citizenship law claim no political affiliation. The Secretary of State's office said that unaffiliated voters count for 57%, or 12,822 people whose registrations were put on hold. Another 5,069 registrations still in limbo come from Republican voters, or 22% of the voters on the list. Registrations of 4,070 Democrats are also on hold, accounting for 18% of the suspended voters. Voter registrations for 383 Libertarians are also in limbo. The law that took effect in January requires new voter registers to provide a birth certificate, passport, or other document providing their U.S. citizenship. Any provisional ballots cast by suspended voters would not be counted. And a reminder for you that daylight savings time ends this weekend, so before you go to bed Saturday night, be sure to set your clocks back 1 hour. This has been a news update from the Salina Post.
ABC, let's make some a little sweeter. Kansas weather is known for being unpredictable. That's why ABC Seamless is the best product to protect your home from wind and hail. ABC Seamless siding is as strong as steel because it is steel. Don't settle for products that won't last. Visit our website at www.abcseamless.net. ABC Seamless. Better products, better installation, better warranty.
Have you heard about the best kept secret in Hayes? Hi, I'm Treva Benoit, Director of Cedar View Assisted Living. Let's find out what our residents have to say.
The staff is absolutely precious.
I've been at Cedar View for 11 years and I'm happy.
I really like the activities at Cedar View.
The staff is very able, they're all well trained, and I just love them all.
Cedar View is owned by individuals that live in Ellis County and are committed to Hayes and its surrounding communities. Cedar View Assisted Living, the care you need, the home you want.
We are quality.
We are Northwestern Printers.
Listed in the Nextech directory.
The living room. It's a great place to watch TV. Just like your backyard, break time at the office, or waiting for your ride. Now you can watch TV everywhere. Stream your favorite shows or live TV from many channels in your cable package on any computer, tablet, or smartphone. It's all included with your Eagle Communications TV service for no extra cost. Sign up to watch TV everywhere today. Call or visit eaglecom.net to learn more.
Clear and cold. We will drop to around 32 with a wind northerly at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Sunshine, cool during the day on Friday with a high 49. We'll have some frost settling in on Friday night into Saturday. Our low just 28 with a freeze warning in effect. Saturday's high 53. From the Eagle Storm Watch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dan Holliday.
That's Hays Post News. Thanks for joining us. I'm Becky Kaiser.
The Eagle Community Television Oil and Gas Report, brought to you by WW Drilling of Waukene, with 6 rigs serving central and western Kansas. The Eagle Community Television Oil and Gas Report, brought to you by WW Drilling of Waukene, with 6 rigs serving central and western Kansas.